Hey everybody, welcome to my studio. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about what this thing is and how you can make one for yourself. Let's get started. Hey, welcome back everybody to my studio. I recently created this value scale using the Daniel Smith color Indigo, which I have here. Love this color, use it a lot in my paintings. And this particular pigment is a combination of PB60 and PBK6. And I went ahead and created a value scale that goes from the one value, which is the darkest dark that I could get from that pigment, as we see here, all the way through up to value scale level 10, which contains no pigment whatsoever. It's just the color of the paper. And this is, as I discussed in that video, and there's a link to that video at the end of this video. You can go and take a look at it if you'd like. As I discussed in that video, it's a really, really helpful exercise for artists to do value scales and choose a color on their palette and then really try to create all 10 steps from 1 around to 10 and really create a nice gradual change in color. And I think I succeeded with that pretty well here. I think if I compare these values to the values on my little mini pocket color wheel here, I can see that the value 1 here is pretty similar, and then value 9, and I can just compare these values to the values that I see on this value scale wheel, and that was what I was shooting for. And you can do this with any color, pretty much any color. You need to choose a color on your palette that can get really dark. And that's why I chose indigo, because I can get a really dark color with that. And then starting there, I went around and just slowly made a more washed out or thinned with water mix of the color, and went around until I got down here to 9, which was the lightest value I could get with that. And it's a really good exercise for you to see how you control your mixes, how you can get different values from just one pigment, how you can see the difference between values, very important. And it's a good exercise. So again, you could take another color on your palette, a blue, like for example, an ultramarine blue, and do this exact same exercise. You could use, I could use my purple, my dioxazine purple, or a red color, and try to do this exact same exercise. Some colors on your palette, maybe a yellow or things like that, are difficult to get this dark. You would be very hard pressed to get a true value 1 using some colors on your palette, just because they just don't go dark enough. But hey, you could try. You could see how many values you could get out of one pigment. Again, a very good exercise. I highly recommend it to you. So the next thing I want to do, once I made this handy dandy value scale, I got to thinking, I've seen some really cool value cards, and you can buy them online, and they're a little pricey. And I'm showing one here. You can buy these online, and they're similar to what I've created here, and they have a little cutout or a little notch where you can then place that value swatch over the painting, reference picture, whatever you're painting, and try to determine which value is represented in that part of the painting. And it really helps you to choose the right value. And I got to thinking, hey, I could make a similar card out of my own value scale that I created already. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that. I'm just simply trimming down my paper here a little bit. Okay, I've trimmed away the excess paper around the outside of the scale, but to make this really useful as a value scale when I'm painting, I really need to trim away or cut into each of these swatch areas kind of a view hole, so to speak, so that I can really surround whatever portion of my subject matter I'm looking at, really surround it with this value, and be able then to see if what I'm looking at in my subject matter, my reference photo, is actually the same value. Okay, so I was thinking, well, I could just simply use my nice sharp X-Acto knife here and just go ahead and do this, right? I can, I'm not going to do it quite like the sample I showed you there a bit ago, but I'm just going to just cut away a rectangular shape out of the center of each of these swatch areas, and that'll be my view hole. Just like that, okay? And this will allow me then to really look at my subject matter, my reference photo, my live setting that I'm painting in plein air, whatever way I'm doing it. It'll allow me to view that area in comparison to this value. Okay, so I finished cutting all of those out. You can see I didn't have to be too exact about it. I just need to be able to have a little window through which I can view my subject matter behind it. So here, for example, is a painting that I might want to be painting. And I can simply look at a portion of this subject matter, the dog, and say, well, this area on the back of their back, is that this value, or is it a bit maybe closer to 8? Or is it a bit closer to 7? And I can just compare that there against which one that I think it might be. I think it might be more of an 8. It's a pretty light value in here. Okay. How about on the ear there? You know, go up and kind of compare. Now again, the actual hue is a little different. This black and white is a more true gray, whereas I have an indigo which has got more blue in it. But that's okay. You need to train your eye to really be able to, again, see values and not colors. And this is getting at the very heart of what I'm talking about, is when we see this bluish value against this grayish value, we think they're different. But really, you can still look in here and see what value that is in that portion of the ear and really decide where in your scale it is. So it's again in the 4 or 5 area, something like that. Obviously, here in the mouth, we're getting into just a really the darkest dark areas of the picture in the eye. Here in the nose, in the front of the snout, somewhere probably around the 2 area here. And this is, again, it is essential that you learn how to see the values in your subject matter. And because it is really the values that are ultimately most important in order to capture a true representation of your subject matter. Values are more important than color. And until you really grasp that and are able to implement that in your paintings, you'll struggle to really get the results that you want. So train yourself to see values. One helpful way to do that is to do value scales, to do them in different colors so that you begin to train yourself to see the values, and then also to try to do some monochromatic studies where you paint a subject matter only with one color and try to use all the different values. And then eventually start to add more colors and then see how the different colors have different values just by nature of their hue, which is the other word for what we call color, their actual pigment color. So anyways, this is a helpful thing. Just an idea that you could make your own value scale. And I think it would be helpful to do this with several colors on your palette and see what you get and see how you can make a full value scale from 1 all the way to 10 in whatever color you have on your palette. Hopefully this was helpful. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing to my channel. Hit the notification bell. In the description below, I'm also going to put links to some of the materials and supplies that I used in this particular video. Thanks for coming to the studio today. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.